All right, guys, today we're back once again talking about the CS2 markets because we have, again, some very, very big stuff to talk about. I know I keep saying that. I know it's kind of like a broken record at this point, but we do have some news stories that are coming out and some stuff that I'm very excited to talk about. There's some good news. There's some bad, potentially concerning, potentially interesting, weird. I don't really know how to put it. News going on as well. All different kinds of stuff to talk about going on in the markets. But the thing that I'm most excited about is it does seem like everything is going to be okay. The panic, the kind of uncertainty, the worry, the fear that we have had over the past couple weeks does seem like it is subsiding a little, and that doesn't mean that we're in the clear. That doesn't mean that everything's going to be okay for sure. That doesn't mean that Valve can't change things once again, that they can't throw all of this away, or that even some of these solutions that these sites are coming up with are even going to work or be sustainable. I know it's something that GamerPay has talked about as well. Just because some of these sites are coming up with peer-to-peer methods or solutions or whatever doesn't mean that they are going to be financially feasible or like manpower feasible or whatever as we go forward in the future, especially if they continue to grow and scale and all those things. They're just kind of patchwork solutions for right now, where I'm sure they're going to continue to be working on things behind the scenes. But for right now, what I do know, what I can tell you is that the markets have been remaining very, very, very strong. And this is, of course, a great sign. This is definitely something good going on. And also, last time I checked at the player base, these numbers were looking really strong as well, and they're definitely continuing to do just that. Like I said, so far, every month in 2024 has been better than the last, and it looks like April is going to be better than March once again. At least that's how it's looking so far. Who knows how this is going to play out, but the peak players, the average players, the growth of this game is looking amazing. And at the end of the day, that is one of the biggest factors for the market, and it's always going to be one of the biggest factors for the markets. If people are playing the game, that means the demand for the skins is going to be there. That means people are going to be opening up cases and capsules and all that stuff. That means people are going to be crafting as well. It means people are going to want to be in the markets. It means just so many different good things. It also means people are going to be watching the esports, are going to care about the teams and the players and the streamers and the content and all that stuff. It's going to be good for the CS2 ecosystem and markets and everything, but it's all going to depend on a very, very strong backbone of the game. And again, when the game is doing this well over the past 3 months, the markets should be following, and they kind of have. The markets are, I don't know, if you just look from straight 3 months ago, depending on what you're looking at, it looks like the markets are, okay, from the Esport Fire 300 graph, the markets are just kind of straight up over the last 3 months, which is what I would expect. But in the all items graph, they're kind of flat. So depending on what items and everything you've been looking at, it does kind of depend. I know I've definitely seen some items out there that have been a little bit flat over the past 3 months, but there's definitely been some growth in some areas. So it just kind of depends what you are invested in. But again, the fact that the markets did not dip, did not panic, did not crash during this period of a lot of uncertainty and craziness and chaos going on, I think it's a great sign. I think the CS2 markets overall are maturing a lot. There's so many people that have so much time and money and everything invested into it. Maybe that means we can't have as much crazy and insane as explosive growth as we've seen in the past, but it does mean maybe things are going to start getting a little less volatile. Maybe we'll start to just see a little bit more of consistent and stable markets and gains and stuff like that. Who knows? But I'm sure stuff could always get crazy once again as well. But one of the big things that I did want to talk about today is I tweeted out this earlier. This is just kind of random. I hadn't really heard about any updates or any news or anything going on with CS Float, so I tweeted out, I miss you, CS Float, because I truly do. I've been using some of these other websites over the past couple of days. I've been using SkinBit a lot because they were one of the first peer-to-peer marketplaces to return. I've been using Buff Market. I started using GamerPay now that it's back. I've been using Buff163, and out of all of these, CS Float has been my favorite as somebody from the West. Not necessarily because CS Float is the best. I think there's definitely some stuff that CS Float does not so great or does weird or does wrong, but the interface and how the website looks and acts and feels, I think feels very, very clean. I like using CS Float, and it's designed way more than SkinBit and GamerPay and some of these sites. I think the other ones are pretty trash. I think Buff Market is actually pretty decent. I'm honestly really surprised that more people don't use Buff Market, but SkinBit and GamerPay seem pretty ugly, seem pretty hard to use, I don't know, I don't really like either of these sites that much. But CS Float is clean, easy to use, good, all that stuff. It's also very, very simple and easy to get money, being US dollars, on and off of CS Float, and that is the big thing. That is the biggest difference for me, besides some website like Buff163. Obviously, Buff163 has insane volumes, and I can always sell my stuff really fast, and I know I'm going to be able to get sales, and I know I'm going to be able to do high volume buying and selling and all that stuff, and that's amazing, but at the end of the day, at some point, I need dollars. I need dollars to do my cash trading business. I need dollars to pay my bills, to live my life. Like at some point, Buff balance is not going to cut it, and it still doesn't really make makes sense to me that people from the West don't have a good way to get currency in and out of Buff. And in a lot of ways, that is, of course, going to hurt the Buff 163 marketplace. Now, obviously, Buff 163 is still wildly successful. I'm sure they don't care, at least now. Maybe they'll never care. I don't know. But you're already starting to see people piling up Buff balance, and I do eventually think that is going to be an issue. But whatever. I was tweeting out that I miss CS Float because I do, and it would make what I do a lot easier. It would make what people want to do, whether it's buying or selling or whatever, in the West a lot easier, and just give us a lot more liquidity and a lot more options and opportunity, especially with our money, and not feeling like we're trapped or stuck in the markets, which maybe that would cause some money to leave the markets. Maybe that would cause a little bit of a downturn. I don't know. I don't really care. In the long term, it's definitely a good thing if people have control and power over their money and their skins and everything. But, CS Float did like this tweet. There were some other people chiming in saying, hey, they need Float back in their life. I want to snipe on Float again. This guy said skin bid works also. I don't know why CS Float's taking so long, which is a great question. If some of these other peer-to-peer sites are back, why is Float taking so long? I don't know. I said, yeah, I know, but SkibiDB is shit. Please come back. Same, me too, whatever. But yeah, CS Float liked this tweet. They didn't respond to me or anything, but they just liked it. Then this other guy, who I don't even know who this is, but apparently I follow him, he said, waiting for CS Float to come back. And he posted, this kind of time log of this guy taking all these pictures, making it just seem like, hey, we're waiting forever to Float come back. And then they actually responded to him, which pissed me off, of course, because why does this guy get a response? I checked to look if he's like anybody famous or whatever. He's got like 800 followers. I don't know. It seems like he's big in the CS community, but I mean, come on. This was like a humbling moment for me. I wanted my response from CS Float. I tweeted it first. My tweet was like 10 hours ago when this happened. This tweet was 7 hours ago or 8 hours ago. So my tweet was first. CS Float saw myself first. They didn't respond to me. I was a little bit butthurt, whatever. But they did said soon TM. And then eventually we did actually get an update from CS Float where they said they are currently waiting on extension approval from the folks over at Google Chrome. To start getting ready for the launch of the new trading system, you can now list your items in preparation. So I don't know or totally understand exactly what their new trading system is going to be, but it does seem like they're not going to be doing the same escrow system that sites like GamerPay and SkinBid are doing. Maybe Float has decided that those are too labor intensive, just like the GamerPay owner, he tweeted out or whatever. We don't know if this solution will be feasible going forward in the future, financially feasible, manpower feasible, whatever, some of the stuff I was talking about earlier, but it was something they're trying out because they just knew that it was a solution. Maybe Float decided that those options weren't the best or they weren't great or whatever. They're doing some kind of solution using a Google Chrome extension. Maybe it'll be used to verify that the trades have been sent, or I don't really know exactly how it's going to work or what's going to happen. I'm very, very curious to see. I don't think we've really heard what this is going to be like or anything, but again, they are waiting for that extension approval from Google. Now, I don't know how fast or slow or whatever Google does take. I'm assuming it's going to be done within the next couple of days, but once, if and when Google does approve this extension, it does seem like CS Float trading is coming back. Now, again, this is a great sign, especially for someone like me who, once Float is back, I'm going to be doing super high volumes in trading. I'm going to be buying and selling stuff all the time on Float, just like I was before. This has really been a halt to my collecting, investing, and trading businesses over the past couple weeks, not having Float. So I'm very, very, very excited for this. I am slowly already beginning to ramp up my cash trading once again. I'll be continuing that. So if you guys do have any items they're looking to, cash, turn into cash, crypto, whatever, hit me up. We can maybe get a deal done. I am trying to start slow because, of course, I've had a couple of weeks of accumulating items and not being able to sell stuff. I don't have infinite amounts of money. I don't have infinite amount of cash. So right now I'm only really biting on the absolute best offers and the best deals. But eventually, once things get back to normal, I'll be able to start buying aggressively like I was previously. But again, this does seem like we will be getting a Google Chrome extension option for CS Float trading to return hopefully within the next couple of days. And that is huge, huge, huge news. Again, GamerPay coming back, SkinBid, some of these other sites, that's great. But really, the king of CS marketplaces in the West is Float. And this will be a great sign for peer-to-peer trading. If Float can come back and work and be functional once again, then we really will have avoided this whole crisis, at least for the time being. Again, that doesn't mean Valve can't change stuff in the future, can't change stuff once again, can't, mess this all up again if they want to, but whatever. Somebody asked, how will this work on mobile? He said for mobile, you need to stay tuned. So I don't know if that means they have a mobile option ready right away or if their mobile's going to have to wait even longer. Seems like most of this is going to be really based around Google Chrome. This guy said, and this extension shouldn't allow full access like the opt-in one, right? And they said it's designed to be privacy-centric along with the whole trading system. So again, it's not like Buff 163. It shouldn't include session hijacking or anything like that. Shouldn't give them a ton of access to your account. Somebody said, what about Firefox? They said Firefox takes takes much longer to review extensions, unfortunately, so you'll need to use Chrome in the interim. And yeah, it seems like that's all the information that we do have right now. But again, even without CS Float, the markets have still been remaining strong. Again, most people think it's likely due to the fact that most of the CS community and investing community stuff probably wasn't even having issues. There were peer-to-peer marketplaces still working. There were bot trading sites still working. The Steam market was still working. Buff163 was still working. So really, this has only been a big inconvenience for people who mostly focused or use sites like Float, because so many of your other options really did still work. So I don't know. Again, the fact that we've gotten through all this craziness, hopefully, and this situation will be hopefully done in the next couple of days, I think is a very, very good sign. And I'm just excited that we got some news and updates from Float. And again, I still miss Float. I can't wait for them to be back. And once they are, I will definitely get back to my full capacities of cash trading. But like I said, I need a way to actually get some dollars. Right now, I have a ton of buff balance. But again, buff balance isn't going to really do me any good at the end of the day. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then. Peace.